Hey, before you watch this, I want to give a big thank you to my viewers from India and others who love seeing Indian cinema. Your comments are awesome, and I'm doing my best to reply to as many of them as I can. And yes, I also appreciate the ones where you're correcting me about something I didn't know because, I do want to learn. And I want to explain what this video is you're about to watch. These are the two Indian cinema clips from my Thursday live stream. We talk about Triple R as an example of a buddy movie, and then we do a trailer reaction to the vision of Brahmastra. But what's happened to my Thursday live stream is that I can't get it through copyright yet. It's still taking forever. And so what I did was I cut out the Indian cinema clips and put them together so you guys can still watch them. I will have the whole live stream up soon, hopefully, as soon as YouTube cooperates with me. But what I was wondering is, would this be something you'd like me to do all the time? Edit my live stream and then just put together the Indian cinema clips for you guys to watch. So that way you don't have to go searching through my live stream for them. But let me know in the comments if this is something you like or don't need. Appreciate that. Thank you. I also know it's taking forever to get my other Indian cinema content out there. And I want you to know it's because I want it to be good. But I am working on a bunch of stuff for you guys specifically. And one of them is a big surprise, so stay tuned. And Flaccid Phoenix and I have been kicking around the idea of doing live streams weekly for our viewers from India at a time when you guys will be awake. And I wanted to respond to something I've seen in some of my comments too about watching RRR for the clicks or views or whatever. And my friend Flaccid Phoenix has heard this too. And there's a few reasons we make so much Triple R content. We love that movie. Our viewers seem to like those videos. But the most important part, guys, is Triple R is the gateway to Indian cinema for Western people, it seems like. And we've converted tons of people to watching Indian cinema by starting them with Triple R. I have friends outside of YouTube who have now watched Triple R because I've recommended it so many times, and they've moved on to other things. Bahubali. I had friends watch Sadr Udam and have a lot of questions about, well, the British Raj, which is something people should learn about. And so this is doing that too. When I have my friends calling me, asking me for Indian cinema recommendations to watch with their kids, we're doing something. It's working. But we still need you to help us by telling us what to watch next, react to, what's popular, what people like, and why we should like it. I've had a lot of help with that. I'm not finding these things on my own, but please keep giving me recommendations.
You guys, the four of you guys, culture included. This scene on the bridge it becomes so metaphorical, wrapped inside of metaphors. It's crazy. The guy that is the naturalist and the guy that is former British military is such a statement to make about what was going on in India at the time the movie takes place in.
We're back.
It's so magical. It's really, that bromance is so magical. It really does state what happened when Gandhi was roaming around, on his little parades and stuff. It's because the military guys were giving it up. They were like, this is ridiculous. I can't beat up my own citizens. I don't care what they're paying me. So, there's some legitimate comic book level metaphor going on with that bromance that's really, really special.
Well, yeah, and that's what it is too. It's like this is a, what do you want to call it? It's not revisionist history, but it's like it's close. It's close to history and enough, right?
Historical fiction, yeah.
It's historical fiction, historical fantasy, whatever you want to say. It's definitely based on the reality of things. Both of these people, these characters, are based on like revolutionaries from this time period, but they're kind of mixed
like
with
Selma.
gods as well.
It's like the movie Selma here, where it's not exactly what happened at all, but it's an interesting story.
Yeah, imagine that if Martin Luther King and Malcolm X were like beating up Southerners like in a badass way with superpowers.
Right. Yeah, Mel Gibson. Yeah.
But you could say, but Abraham Lincoln versus the vampires. What was that one?
Oh,
Vampire
yeah.
Slayer.
Vampire
Yeah.
Joe
Slayer.
Vampire
Biden.
Slayer.
Joe Biden
That's
2020.
almost the same thing because it's literally takes this idea that the Southern Democrats were the vampires, and Abe Lincoln was the guy that was going to come in there and kick some butt to like stop all this from happening anymore. So yeah, it's myth making. It's modern myth making. They just peel. They do a colorforms layover of comic book lore to kind of revise the history just enough so that it still speaks to it.
And it's
Well-
kind of like in a 300 like aspect where it's like I'm retelling my history in the most epic way possible, and this could not happen right now in the United States about its own history because
Nope.
there's too much guilt going around right now, and this
Right.
has no guilt at all.
Yeah.
It doesn't care. And S.S. Rajamouli, the director of that, which is a huge fan of Mel Gibson, he talks about this too. That this is not historically accurate. That this is fantasy, but it is like part of like having a fun story about this all. And I don't know. He's a great director. I want him to direct something in like more American than what he's doing right now. But what he's doing right now is knocking out of the park every time now.
100%, man. That's
yeah, 'cause
exactly
I
right.
wrote-
What you were saying too about how they don't have any guilt, dude. It's like India had some really messed up
much
stuff
pride.
going around in like the last few hundred years, dude. They've had slave trade upon slave trade. They had discrimination against Muslims. They had Muslims coming in and just crusading the shit out of India as well. And yeah, they don't bring any of
Indian cinema is different in that it has more straightforward good and evil characters, so I do like that too. We're not trying to redeem the villain every time, and it's not really about how they're misunderstood. And so what I'm going to do now is I keep getting asked to, there's a new Brahmastra trailer I'm being asked to react to, which I didn't know was out. I didn't know there's a new version of it out. So I will, we'll find that now. We'll watch that, and then we're going to call her a night, I think. So this is Brahmastra. It's an explainer, I guess. It's not really a trailer, but it explains the story behind their cinematic universe they're creating in Indian cinema. It's supposed to be in English, so.
Vanarastra,
Wow.
Nandi Astra,
Wow.
Yeah.
Prabhastra,
Where are all the annoying girl bosses though?
Jalastra,
They're coming up.
Pavanastra,
Which is the girl that's the key to everything?
Brahmastra. In these last few years, we have been building the foundation of a universe of cinema based on the concept of astras, the Astraverse. Brahmastra Part 1 is the first movie of this Astraverse, and it begins with an image from a mystical time in ancient India, where a group of sages are performing deep meditation in the Himalayas. And for their meditation, the sages are blessed with the light of the universe, the most
know where to
powerful
stop?
and most pure energy there is, a Brahma Shakti. From this Brahma Shakti, astras are born. Astras which have within them all the different energies that are found in nature: fire, wind, water, earth. The Jalastra, Pavanastra, and the Agniastra. Astras which have within them the powers of different animals, like the Vanarastra, which can give to the person who controls it the power of a super monkey, and the Nandi Astra, which has within it the power and strength of 1,000 bulls. But there is one Astra, the last one to emerge from the light, carrying its collective essence, the lord of all the others, which the sages name after one of the most powerful weapons of our gods, the Brahmastra. The sages vow to protect these astras, and as the guardians of the Brahmastra, they name themselves the Brahmansh, a secret society which will exist amongst other men and do good for the world with the power of these astras.
This is
Time
already
moves
more
forward.
well thought out than
Humanity
Marvel Phase
progresses.
4.
And the
Yeah.
Brahmansh
Well,
carries
in
on
phase
as well,
five. Phase five.
passing on the astras generation to generation, all the way into our world today, where the
Me
Brahmansh
too,
still
Shilpa.
exist in secret.
Yeah.
India, as it is today, is where the story of Brahmastra is set. I believe this puts us in a very unique position because no one has done what we are doing with ancient Indian inspiration in the modern world ever. And now on to the hero of Brahmastra, our protagonist, a young man who is yet to discover
Ugh, gross.
that in this
DJs.
world of astras,
No.
he is a miracle
Both you're human.
because he is an astra himself. Agni Astra. In keeping with our spirit of tribute to our roots, he is named after the
I think
god
the
who
stream
is
just
the
went
most
down
dear to
again.
me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did.
The
Yeah, I
most
just saw
mystical,
that.
the all-powerful, and my greatest
I call it.
inspiration.
I just
Shiva.
call it. Yeah, we are dead.
I mean, this looks dope.
It does, yeah. That
Oh wow,
looks
so that's
crazy.
pretty. That's pretty soon. That's not. That's just a month or two away.
Yeah. It's their big push for a cinematic universe of their own, I guess.
That's tight. Is this like the first installment or the first volume?
Yeah.
Get this to stop, please. There we go. Yeah, it's sort of their shot at an MCU style, but we're using their ancient gods, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but it's also, this one is Bollywood, I'm pretty sure, right? So it's like
It
a little
is.
different than RRR. There's the different spheres of Indian cinema.
And this has some of the same cast as Shamshera, too. The lead actor
Yes,
and then
yep.
his wife in real life are in it.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's shut her down, boys.